What's going on, guys? Chase with iDub Hockey, hanging out with JD from Bauer Hockey. He is the category manager of skates. Usually, JD, we're on the ice in New Hampshire. Times are a little bit different right now, so I'm hanging out in California. And where are you at right now?
We're at the global headquarters here in beautiful Exeter, New Hampshire. So I'm just doing our best to stay connected, buddy.
Definitely. And I think connection is, a good segue into your new fit system this year. So a big departure from how we've shopped and bought and sold skates for eternity. So maybe just give me an idea, or what was your guys' goal, really turning the market upside down with this new fit system?
For us, a lot of it was, kind of allowing the consumer to choose their performance first and foremost. So you'll notice that, we're not carrying Nexus forward anymore, and we're focusing all of our attention on Vapor and Supreme. And, we've put a lot of emphasis on how the skate performs on the ice, how it feels, and really delivers on two very unique kind of performance characteristics on ice. And in order to deliver that to the most amount of players in the world, we needed to kind of rethink of our fit options kind of moving forward. I think, a lot of players out there have a lot of different dimensions within their feet, and we really wanted to take a leadership position in fit and really take a scientific approach to how can we fit more consumers into our brand by using data to really drive that. So again, it really starts with performance, but also kind of evaluating what our fit options are moving forward. And I think the combination of the two is what's going to truly kind of, really change the way that players view skates kind of moving forward. So, it was a very scientific approach.
Definitely. And we've talked off screen, and you mentioned that, previously you'd shop by fit profile first, and then you'd figure out which skate to get after that. And now it's, what style skater are you? And now once you're in the correct Bauer skate, the Vapor or Supreme, we can fit you no matter what. So I think that's a really cool way for players out there to really get dialed in. I mean, you have fit profiles and geared for different styles of play. And now that's really kind of completing the head to toe, outfit for your style, your game. But we've covered the differences between Vapor and Supreme. Go check out the video if you haven't already. We're talking fit profiles here, so it's kind of narrowed it down. So maybe walk me through the differences between Fit 1, Fit 2, and Fit 3.
For sure. So first and foremost, we've had a scanning device out in the market for a little over almost 3 years today. And basically we've been able to collect roughly around 800,000 scans over that time. So we use that database that we've collected over that time to really drive that scientific approach. And basically what we saw through the data science was basically as your foot gets wider, it also has a tendency to have a little bit more volume built into it. So what we wanted to do is kind of take that approach and say, okay, if this is the trend for the majority of people out there, let's try to kind of really set up our fit option so that, again, you can pick your performance and then get into the right fit for you. So the first fit that we have is our Fit 1. And basically what we've done here is we 3D printed a couple feet as an example of the different fits that we're offering. So these are all size 8 and 3D printed from our scanning device. So the first thing you do is when you look at the kind of the top-down view and you look at the width of this particular foot, it is very kind of a narrow dimension on the forefoot area as well as in the heel. When you turn it onto the side, you'll notice that what we call the heel depth, the ankle wrap, as well as the instep height, that is a very low volume foot. So the combination of the two and looking at the trends, right here, this is what we would consider a Fit 1. And it's very, very similar to a Vapor D-width skate that currently exists out in the marketplace. The only difference is this type of foot shape and this type of foot profile, you now have the ability now to choose a Vapor or a Supreme skate with those similar dimensions that caters to that foot profile. So again, Fit 1, low volume, narrow width, now available in both Supreme and Vapor. When you transition to our next foot profile, it's kind of that medium width and medium volume. So again, looking at the instep, the heel depth, as well as the ankle wrap, you can see that it's got a little bit more volume built into it all the way throughout. When you turn it out to the side here, you can definitely see on the outer side, on the width dimension, especially on the outer side, that it kind of expands out a little bit more. So that's a medium width. So again, the way that Fit 2 is set up on our skates is to cater for that medium width and medium volume with medium volume skate. And then last but certainly not least is kind of the bigger foot that you'd see out in the market. So again, 3D printed. You look at the volume, you can see that there's a significant amount of structure within the skate all the way throughout. So that's the high volume. And then when you turn it over to the side, you can see it's that wider dimension. So I would say this fit here is pretty new to us. It's a combination of a Nexus volume from a volume perspective with some Supreme Double E characteristics to it. So when we looked at the data science, that was those three fit profiles were the ones that really kind of resonated from a profile standpoint. So there's some other elements within there. So like a Vapor Double E right now, it's most of the scans that we've seen that fit into a Vapor Double E are actually more of a Fit 2 from a dimensional standpoint. And then the Nexus Double E, again, those type of players would definitely fall into kind of the Fit 3 kind of characteristics. So, the way that we've set up our line, now you can choose a Vapor or a Supreme skate, and rest assured, we're going to have you covered off from a fit solution standpoint to ultimately give you the perfect fit possible.
And I've got a point leading up to it, but can you show the viewers real quick the difference between Fit 1 and Fit 3?
Yeah, for sure.
And so as you can see, that's an incredible difference, So that's essentially a Nexus player in the Fit 3 who could never dream about fitting into a Vapor skate. And now, even though, they have a wider, higher volume fit, now they could, probably have a, quick, agile overall skating style. And so something that, unless you went, I guess, could you even do that custom beforehand? I mean,
you definitely could. It was always, a lot more kind of trickier, and we have that capability, but now we have that capability of fitting your foot for multiple price points now, and I think that's the uniqueness. Is this isn't just the top end price point? This goes all the way down through our top, our top 3 price points. So, again, we're trying to be mindful of everybody, and I think, Chase, you guys probably see it just as much as we do, but whenever we launch a new Vapor skate is a good example. You launch a Vapor skate, and a lot of the comments that we see on social media or on different websites is, man, I love the look of that skate, but I just don't fit into it. Well, now you can. So I think it's it's a really good opportunity for a lot of players across the globe to really choose the product that they really want, instead of getting a product that fits their foot as best as possible.
Right. And so you said a lot of this has been based off of your scans. I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of scans that you guys have done, but how would you maybe break down, just to give the viewers an idea of like percentages based off of the fit system? So like how, on average, how would you break down the population into the 3 fits?
Into the different buckets? Yeah, that's a great question. So obviously, working with a lot of data scientists from our scanning company that we work with, as well as, our RDD facility in Blainville, we've ran a lot of simulation off of the 800,000 scans that we have within our database. And the general population, about 35% of them would fit into a Fit 1. Roughly around 50% of the population would fit into a Fit 2, and then the 15% into kind of the Fit 3. So again, it's a little bit regional. So like in Europe, they have a tendency to have a little bit more of a wider and a bigger foot overall. So their percentages are going to be a little bit higher than in North America. But in general, it's about 35, 50, 15%.
Awesome. Right on, JD. Well, I think it's really exciting and really helping players dial in their game from head to toe, just being able to pick a skate that's based on your skating style and stride, not just because it's a low volume or a high volume fit. So thanks for sitting down, chatting with us, and hopefully we see you guys next year, but stay healthy, stay safe out there.
And will do, and keep having fun, buddy.
Yeah, will do. And then for you guys at home that want to check out all 3 fits in the new Bauer Vapor and Supreme skates, make sure to go to icewarehouse.com.